are live. Okay, so I'm off here. I've got Coconut Shrimp with me.
Hello.
And we are about to broadcast out one of the new Scythe League games. This one's between Gar, On Your Block, Salmon Dip, and Running Trumpet. So we've got 3 out of the 4 players in the room getting ready to go. And we're just waiting on the 4th player to join the bidding room so that we can spectate. Let's go ahead and let everybody know on the Discord. That we are streaming. And since Running Trumpet's not here yet, go ahead and post the same thing in the regular side. Let me just still waiting on Running Trumpet.
While we're waiting, you want to discuss what we see here, these factions?
Can you see them? I don't have a spectate button yet.
Oh yeah, no, I'm in. Well, right now we've
join
got
for me. How do I get to where I can spectate?
So it should be just a button on the right over there. Big spectate button. Maybe try refreshing the page.
Did that.
Or maybe try getting rid of your name, I think.
Oh, yeah, that actually works. Nicely done.
There you go.
Just log out. Inspect.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Saxony Engineering, Polania Mechanical, Nordic Patriotic, and Togawa Innovative. Bring up the tier list here real quick. Saxony Engineering's currently at an F tier combo. Bit of a spoiler alert that may be moving up to D. Polania Mechanical's a B. Nordic Patriotic is a C. Probably a really good C or even a middle tier B. Togawa is a B tier combo. So all in all, I mean, we've got several combinations that are about in the same place. Saxony Engineering's a little worse than the rest, but they're not that far off of each other.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any clear winners right now on what I'd want to go for. I mean, Togawa has quite a bit of room. I mean, besides Saxony in the game, they've got a little bit of freedom to start getting their engine going, I feel.
There's no Crimea or Rusviet in the game, so Togawa is all by themselves on the board. We got Nordic, Polania, and Saxony all clustered together on the other side.
Nordic gets a little bit of freedom without Albany or Rusviet in the game, so they can kind of choose to spread over the river to the left or right village if they're wanting to.
Nordic Patriotic can be very strong if it's left alone and allowed to make a lot of coin. With Saxony Engineering in the game, you have to wonder, is the person who takes that going to go for a stall game where they run an engine and just depend on the bids to keep them competitive, or are they actually going to rush the game? Try to spread out, get some territory, get those combat stars. the tact that Saxony takes is going to, or the tact you. Thanks, Mosgo, for the sub. Appreciate it, man. The way that Saxony goes with their strategy affects how much I want to be Togawa or Nordic in this game, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it all comes down to what kind of bids you get. I mean, if I'm getting a huge bid, I can't imagine people are going to want to do a huge bid on Saxony Engineering, but if you do, you might be looking to need to stall, but which would give Nordic Patriotic a lot of time to build their engine and then just pretty much become unstoppable. If I had to make a prediction, I'd say probably Nordic or Polania might have the two biggest bids, which might give, I don't know, it might make Saxony swing one way or the other. You also have to take into account how fast Polania can get out into that factory. So yeah, it's hard to tell just from these mats, though.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Running Trumpet. He's not responding, it looks like, checking the Discord. So trying to decide what to do about that. Here. So I guess what we're going to do now is we're just going to wait to see if Running Trumpet shows up. And if not, we'll have a whole different set of combinations to evaluate. Togawa Innovative is one of those combinations that's pretty flexible. You can try to go for a faster game, or you can make a lot of coin. If I'm having to pick what I want the most, the one at the top of my list, despite being a little lower on the tier list in this game, I think is going to be Nordic Patriotic. I think Nordic Patriotic is better than that level. Nordic Mechanical or Polania Mechanical is really going to live and die on those encounters, where I think Nordic Patriotic can really count on the most consistent game against these other combinations.
Yeah, and realistically, I'm thinking only Polania might be your only threat in this scenario. I mean, it really depends on what Saxony is going for, but I don't know. I can't imagine them having a really big rush game with the engineering mat. So, I mean, if Polania gets out to that factory, manages to get some power encounters, and then just rushes you down with Submerge, might not be looking your way. But I mean, Togawa, you don't really have to worry about. Saxony is going to be slow getting out of the base. My bet so far, yeah, Nordic Patriotic. So we'll see what the rest of them go for.
I mean, if Saxony wants to, if their go-to is to go quickly, they can go quickly. And they can get out of the base, and they can spread out. The problem with Saxony Engineering, and one of the difficulties of doing that, is since your bolster is over build, you're not building, you don't have a whole lot of power. And because your mechs are expensive, you don't have a whole lot of coins. So if you're going to rush the game with Saxony Engineering and not go for an economy strategy, you've got to do it quickly. And you've got to do it before anyone spreads out, because 50s is going to be your ceiling with Saxony Engineering. There's really not a whole lot of doubt about that.
Yeah, you've probably got good 10 turns maybe before Nordic starts to really get into those huge power levels, and you might be able to sneak. I mean, if they're going for the power star, you might be able to sneak a a quick combat off of them if they don't want to drop all the way down. But yeah, my bet, if I were playing, I don't know, I might be looking to stall as.
Yeah, I seem to remember a game from maybe the tournament before last, the first Scythe Digital tournament where Smug Skull actually took Saxony Engineering and played an economy game. And with the bids, I think he ended up taking second, but he was leading for a long time. And it took the other players a significant amount of time to actually pull ahead and for one of the players to win. Difficulty with that engineering game is the economy game can keep you in it, but it's a little bit slower. So you can stay with the pack for a long time, and if the bids are high enough, you can stall the game. But are you going to get it cheap enough in this group of sort of B and C tier combos? I think is the question.
I do think Saxony has the benefit of the doubt on their side. I don't think many people are going to see that and think, of course, I don't know skill level of these players, but if I was in their position, I don't know if I would necessarily think a rush game for Saxony, so they might not be wanting to target them. And then if they get a couple builds off, then they're sitting on 7, 8, 9 power with 4 cards and a couple of buildings under their sleeve. It might be a little too late if they get them for cheap. Oh, and we started.
Okay, so Running Trumpet made it just under the wire. So, and he starts out exactly where we thought, which is Nordic Patriotic for 0.
Yep.
Actually reset it right here to make sure we're seeing Running Trumpet's name up in the top left and everything's working fine. So we got Nordic Patriotic at 0. If you're not going to play Nordic Patriotic, who would you like next in this combination?
Right now, I might take Polania.
Oh my gosh, we've got 3 0 bids right now.
On 3 on the board factions. Right now. Anya could end it. No, he's not going for it. Not letting Nordic get away with a 0 bid.
I really don't know about throwing down 0. You're taking a risk there that someone just grabs Togawa and you're done. And you have to beat Nordic Patriotic in a straight up game. I don't know. I'm a sucker for Polania, but I think Polania Mechanical might be my number 2 here. I think if Derp was on here, he'd fuss at me for not taking Togawa Innovative. I don't know, chat. What do you guys think? Quiet tonight. See you guys lurking in there. Oh,
that's it.
We're done.
Wow.
We're done.
All Making up for lost time, I guess.
Let's get these numbers on the screen here.
Well, now, I'm still, looking at this, I don't see how Nordic doesn't get it.
I think
you've only got to cover
price is pretty good.
Yeah, you've only got to cover a bit of 5. Everything else is 0. So.
All right.
Let's see what happens with this.
They're setting up the game here. So they're still in lobby. I go back and forth about whether or not to put the... This takes up so much room to put the players' names on the... on the bid window. I'm gonna leave it with as the faction.
So what do you think now about Saxony Engineering?
Well, they're in the room now. I think think Nordic has to just think about how they're going to play this and how risky they're going to be, because they can get interfered with, right?
Right.
I think you've got to watch how Saxony plays. Does Saxony go for that first upgrade over deploy? And do they set themselves up for a quick move to the encounter? You have a little bit of time with Nordic Patriotic before you have to commit yourself to any particular strategy. And you can take that time to watch what Saxony does and see if they're likely to come into your territory. With this engineering, Matt, your move is over in list. So it's going to be, without a good encounter, it might be difficult as Saxony to get combat cards. So without a lot of combat cards and without a lot of power, flipping a Togawa trap early is incredibly risky, because there's a really good chance Togawa drops the power and that combat card trap early to deter Saxony. So if you're Saxony and you want to end this game quickly, who do you go for? And you've got to hit Nordic quick before they start bolstering, if you're going to hit Nordic. And the same thing for Polania, because both of them have their bolster over deploy. It looks like the game's starting right now.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm in.
This bidding app off the screen.
Yeah, I agree, though. I mean, Togawa is not a savory target for Saxony, because if they put that -2 combat card trap, I mean, how do you get the rest of your combats? Then you're down. I mean, you're down pretty much 3 cards in just one encounter or one combat. So unless you've got like 4 or 5s, I don't know. Combat is going to just be a little rough for Saxony, I feel. I mean,
Gar's a good player. He has a plan here. I would have liked to see Nordic Patriotic go 8 or 10, honestly, before I took Saxony Engineering.
I would have liked to see it go 8 or 10 before it took anything else, really.
Okay, we see a trade out of Saxony Engineering. So he trades for an oil and a metal, does not set himself up for a produce into an upgrade the next turn. Polania takes a move, going for that encounter. We see a pretty standard trade for 2 oil out of Nordic. They can move and upgrade next turn. Togawa going with a simple move action. I want to see what Saxony does now, because that trade was a little interesting to me. I think they must be playing the long game here. Go ahead and produce just without the bottom row action. And I'm guessing we're going to see a trade for that mech next turn, and then maybe a produce into an upgrade, even perhaps after a move action.
Yeah, I think still a little too early to tell.
For Togawa Innovative is arguably the best Togawa, but I mean, I'm with you. It's still Togawa. I'd rather be Polania, or I mean, maybe not Saxony Engineering, but I'd rather be Polania.
Yeah. I mean, you get a little bit of freedom with the innovative board, but still, you're just so slow getting out. I mean, the rest of the boards, depending on how they play, can be too, but I just don't know if you can reach the same amount of coin that Nordic is going to reach by the end of the game.
So we do see a trade for 2 metal and a deploy for the speed mech. Placing it on that mountain there. So maybe a produce next turn. I said he might move and then produce, but if he does that, he doesn't get his upgrade. He traded for one of those oils, so I think we're going to see a produce next turn.
Good encounter for Polania.
Well, if I'm Polania, I like that third option. I like that I can grab an upgrade. Maybe upgrade my move and my deploy. And get some extra metal there.
No, looks like they went bolster.
Sure enough. Did they go bolster?
Yep.
Bold choice. But, I mean, it's... The first option didn't do a ton for me. You know? I'm going to get power anyway. So...
They took that second option. It'd be at 12 power by the end of that. By the end of those deploys.
They could certainly be looking at the power star. So we got to produce out of Nordic. Togawa did a trade. Gained some oil to do an upgrade. What did Togawa upgrade? The enlist. And we get we do get the produce out of Saxony, who chooses to upgrade that deploy. The nice opening sequence for Saxony, I think. That produce gives him that upgrade over deploy. And he's already got that one medal, so he's set up to get another mech, probably after a move action and an encounter on the next turn. Here comes mech number 1. Feed, probably a produce action into a submerged mech, and then I'm gonna go see what's at the factory.
Yeah, looks like
Polania's game is going to hinge on that factory card.
Yeah, if they can get an enlist card, I mean, they're in a pretty good position.
So I like this out of Nordic. You're tempted to upgrade the deploy first, but instead they went for upgrading the enlist, and they're trading for food after one produce, which is going to give them the chance to produce into an enlist shortly. So gosh, if I'm Togawa here, I don't have any food on the board. I'm really tempted to either pay 3 for a recruit or to pay the 2 popularity. Because, I mean, walking away with an enlist here is just huge.
Right. I think they go for 2 or 3. It just depends. Do they want to risk having that power, having to pay 1 power every time they produce for the rest of it?
You could decline the worker.
That's true.
I mean, you could decline the worker if you don't want to pay the power. But already having a worker on metal could be nice too. But to go ahead and get out, I mean, you're talking about essentially 2 enlists if you take number 3. You get 2 food right now, and then after your next produce action, you're back up to 3 food again.
Yeah, it looks like they did decline that worker. Did they forget
the trap token?
Not sure yet. I think Togawa's, because it's weird, because Albion and Togawa's are like flipped. Because Togawa, you can place it after you get it, but Albion you have to place before. But it does look like they're not setting it down on that mountain.
That may be intentional. I mean, they're not about to get hit yet, so... And with the next 2 moves probably being produce and then move, they're probably going to get a chance to place a trap before anyone can seriously threaten them.
Yeah, they look to be looking to get to that factory pretty quickly. With the way it's set up, you can do another
Saxony
produce.
Taking a minute to do this turn. If I'm them, maybe I'm thinking about whether or not I want to bring that mech to that village or not. Because I think the pretty clear move here, if you're Saxony, is move. As opposed to trade into deploy. I mean, a lot of good things could happen for you on that encounter. You could get some food. Pick up an enlist, maybe. Oh, he is going to go for the deploy.
They might be going for... They might have seen that Togawa didn't throw down that trap, and they might be going for him.
Yeah, That's probably what gave him pause. I think Togawa may be regretting that decision now because, yeah, Saxony with underpass and speed now, and the upgraded move action, and they can grab their encounter and hit Togawa with 2 mechs.
That might be what it's looking like.
Polania, somewhat as we expected, goes to 4 workers. Nordic's going to produce into an enlist. We'll see what enlist they get. But I'm wondering if you're Saxony right here, do you use one of your moves, get that worker to the village, and just hit Togawa with 1 unit and grab the encounter? You put the worker on the village, hit Togawa with 2 units and wait on the encounter? Or do you leave the workers where they are, hit Togawa with 2 units and grab the encounter? You've got some options. The temptation would be to take the encounter and double team Togawa. But I don't like Saxony strats that take too long to get the workers out. Because you can find yourself out on the board with not enough workers. And just not really knowing what you're doing.
See what they do here.
Nordic went for the power enlist. Not a bad choice. Looks like they're going for the power star.
Yep. They're gonna get.
And we
Let's see what Saxony does.
We do see the encounter. Okay.
Yep, going for
I don't hate this because you bring the worker with you to the village, so you get the best of both worlds. Instead of leaving a worker on metal, you leave a worker on oil. You get to double team Togawa and you pick up your encounter. So I like this move out of Saxony.
I agree. I think that's a smart move. And wow, throwing 2 3s.
Good cards out of Saxony, right? I mean, Saxony doesn't have a 2.
Curious what their last 2 cards are then.
Take the power and the pop, don't you?
I mean, yeah, I would if you're going this aggressive this early.
Oh, he's gonna take the structure.
Oh.
Armory? No,
no, mine.
I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess he wants to rush the factory.
Either factory or he's looking to get another mech and maybe try and bully Nordic out of their encounter. But you can do that.
Polania is gonna beat you to the factory because you can't move next turn, and then Polania is gonna be on the factory. And right now at 10 power, you can't really take them on. So I mean, the mine helps you. Actually, guys, help me out, chat. Can you go from mine? I know in the rules you can go from mine to occupied mountain. Will the digital edition game let you do that? Or is it the other way around that it won't let you? Anybody know? Remember? Everyone's just lurking tonight. No one wants to answer questions. I can't remember if it's... There's something about the mine not working with underpass correctly. Can't remember if it's mine to mountain or mountain to mine or both. Nordic picks up 3 resources.
Leave.
Yeah, the mine does count as a tunnel, Pfeiffer, but I don't know if in the but it's bugged in the digital edition. But what 3 resources do we get here? He's already got the oil he needs. I'm him. I grab maybe an oil and 2 metal, I think. Because I kind of recognize this strat, and what I'd like to do with this strategy is I'd like to move one of those. Oh, he goes for 3 oil. Okay. I want to get at least one more upgrade with this. And I know that I'm going to produce 1 oil off that worker on the tundra. And my workers are all pretty protected from Saxony right now. Togawa's gotten
They
wrecked.
have just been pushed all the way back.
I mean, I think Togawa thought they had some time, but didn't keep their eye on Saxony.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Or
think
could have
any of
just
us.
gotten eager after that encounter, saw that bottom row action light up and didn't drop a trap token.
Yeah, it could have just been an honest mistake, because I don't know, if I would have taken that risk seeing one medal out with Saxony already having a mech out, I don't know, that's just a huge risk to take.
Nordic and Saxony currently tied before the bids. All right. I've posted a link in chat here. Let's see. Playing the digital edition. I was playing as the Saxons with all mechs unlocked. I built a mine on the factory. While I could move to the mountain from both locations, the game would not let me move any of these 3 units to the factory. Okay. So you can't move to a mine.
Good to know.
From a mountain. A controlled mountain with underpass. Polania goes to the factory and is telegraphing to Saxony they are interested in that food. Saxony doesn't really care. They're getting ready to spend it.
They might care if Nordic, or no, because they can move. They can move his character away. But I don't know, Polania might be looking to just go for an early combat. We'll see what card they pick up, but
I think Polania's priorities here are going to have a lot to do with what they get on the factory, like you said. Saxony has no mechs out. Polania is at 2 popularity. They could really...
Power for 2 pop.
Ooh.
Tier 2 game. For them, it's looking.
That's a longer game for a longer, higher coin game for Polania.
Can they pull it off?
So, right now, if you'd taken a different card and you were playing a different game as Polania, those workers up there on Nordic's village, you could bump all of them and really slow down Nordic's game.
Yeah, Nordic going pretty risky. I mean, they are pretty much protected from Saxony. I mean, they might be looking... They might give up the chance at a power star just to make sure they don't lose that oil. I don't know how important that is to them, but if you can get down to those 1 metal deploys, that's pretty good.
Togawa gets out their second enlist.
Would they enlist?
I want to see if Saxony tries to move to the factory here.
I don't know, because Polania's sitting on 3 cards and 10 power. Saxony's sitting on 2 cards, 1 power. I mean, unless they've got some really good cards, I don't know if that's a possible engagement for them.
Saxony taking some time to think about this move. I'm hoping that they're not running into the bug right now.
That would be pretty sad to see that happen.
How's the stream tonight, guys? Is it pretty smooth? You running into some frame drop?
If I'm not looking at the factory, what else? Where else do I go as Saxony? Is the only question. Because I want to get. Okay, looking at that encounter.
One strategy that. Oh, it is a bit laggy. Yeah, I wonder what I can do about that. Guess I could pause the music
Oh,
and see if that
wow.
helps. No, it doesn't seem to be making a difference. All right, Saxony doubling up on these combats.
Poor Togawa.
Right now, Saxony's wanting to limit, sees Polania as a serious threat, and evidently wants to limit Polania's access to encounters.
I mean, as Polania, it doesn't. You're not going for the power star because you got that factory card. If you get a couple lucky encounters, maybe, but I don't think you care that he's on factory.
All right. The mech saves you a turn, but you don't have the coin to pay for it. It's just going to take the 2 food and the popularity.
We're going to just get back into this game with enlists, probably.
It's getting sent home there a little bit. Sort of one of the tough things here for Sax. I mean, they can pick up some combat cards here, which is nice, and they go to 4 combat cards. They're holding steady with Nordic so far, but Nordic's engine is yet to ramp up.
Yep, Polania going for that encounter.
This is not what you wanted to see as Saxony. I think you wanted to come up here to put some pressure on Nordic, but Polania is interfering with your plans. And Polania, right, is going for a higher popularity game.
Oh, there it is.
They're less likely to bump. Oh, goodness.
And there's the card, 4 pop, or that's a total of 6 pop in 1 turn because of that card.
Yeah, the bidding ended a little soon, Hero, in my opinion. I would have liked to see Nordic get up closer to 8 or 9. And probably Polania Mechanical in the 6-7 range. And maybe Togawa at like 3 and Saxony at 0. Maybe.
Well, now how's it looking? Because we've got Polania sitting on tier 2 with only 5 pop left. Needed to get to tier 3.
So this is an interesting move out of Nordic. They've set themselves up to where now they can produce on 3 spots and create 2 metal and 2 food, which is enough for their last 2 enlists. One enlist each produce for the last 2 produces. And it'll give them enough metal too. Is Polania willing to steal some of their resources? Because they won't leave the food on the ground. Polania would have to be willing to give up popularity to take 1 metal. So all they do is take a metal and disrupt Nordic's engine a little bit. But how much is kind of questionable because Nordic still has 2 oil on the ground. Take another move action and get those mechs down to 1. If you really want to disrupt Nordic, you send those two farm workers home and then just kind of park where you are.
Yeah, Nordic going a little risky. Oh, sending the village
Oh,
workers back.
see, that hurts if you're Nordic, but not nearly as much. You know, that
He could
doesn't
be
really even
sending.
hurt that much because all you were going to do with those 3 workers is spread them out anyway, right?
Yeah, and Polania lost 3 pop on that, so they're back down to tier 1.
I mean, that's devastating if you don't have that worker star yet as Nordic, but now that you have it, you can just start moving those workers out and still get some spread out of it in your home base. I didn't even see the
Yeah, they also went for combat.
sent Saxony's character home. Polania making a play here. Look at Togawa. Feels like they've done nothing, but they're actually winning this game right now.
Yeah, you're right. By 1 point ahead of Polania, and 7 points above Nordic right now.
I mean, you take the $2 for the 4 metal, right? If you're Polania here,
Yeah,
you
the
pay
only
for the
question
metal,
is,
and then are you going for endless this game?
I
I
don't
think it's
think
1 and 2. I think he takes 1 and 2.
he could enlist and get the pop right back with the enlist bonus, and then what does he enlist though? Power, maybe. Yeah, he takes the enlist. Probably going for that deploy.
He takes 2 and 3, yeah. We still don't see Polania at 8 workers. Round 9, he's been sitting on those 4 workers there for a while.
Oh, he gets power. Oh, yes, because he spent most of it during the combat. I still think Nordic is starting to get their engine up, shooting up to 21 coins now.
I mean, I like Nordic in this game if everyone just agrees to leave them alone. I mean, Polania, you could say Polania hasn't left Nordic alone. They waited to bump those workers until Nordic had the worker star. And that's what Nordic really wanted out of that space.
If Nordic can go maybe 3 turns more without anybody interrupting them, I don't know if you can stop them at that point. Because now they're starting to get their mechs out, which is 4 coins per.
I mean, Polania can still disrupt Nordic. It's just, does that help you win?
Well, they've got only 2 cards and 4 power now. So if they're risking that with the factory card, they're pretty much risking the rest of their combats. They've already got 2 as well, so I don't know if they're looking to get another combat or if they're just trying to start racking up that popularity again.
Saxony's turn here. Got an awkward 2 food they can't really use. Their move action's up. Could produce, but it doesn't give you enough for
No, they're looking to
give you
move.
enough for an upgrade. Yeah, 1 worker to that mountain. Mech at least to that mountain. Probably going farther. I mean, you could have moved the mech to the tundra and then, yeah, there it goes. Saxony looking to get some board presence back. Still no factory card for Saxony. Polania the only one, having taken a trip there. So Saxony spending a turn just to try to get back out on the board. They're getting sent home by Polania. Oh, Nordic has 7 workers out. I missed that.
Oh, does he not have... Oh,
Okay.
You're right. He doesn't have a star.
So that Nordic's gonna have to probably see a bolster into a mech here. Yeah, I would think so. But yeah, Nordic's gonna have to get a worker out to this far right village probably if they want to get that worker star. And yeah, we see them setting up to do that, moving 2 workers to that tundra. Not gonna depend on Polania leaving. Oh, taking another upgrade on that deploy, willing to wait and risk that metal being stolen out from under them. I mean, if Polania chooses to continue to disrupt Nordic here,
Togawa not forgetting that trap this time.
You're looking at potentially a little bit of a longer game. Togawa with their 3rd enlist, I think. Yes. So this has got to be a produce out of Saxony, right? They just moved.
Mm-hmm.
They've got no bottom row actions at their disposal.
You could be looking to produce into another mech.
I mean, everyone's in tier 1. You're really quite vulnerable having not moved either that character or that mech to that village. Yeah, stream should be getting better now. I'm getting a better signal right now. So here comes Nordic's first mech, right? Polania finally going to 8 workers, getting ready to spread out and get some points.
Yep, there it is.
What would you do? You drop Seaworthy on the farm?
I think so.
Protect that spot a little bit for your last enlist?
Yeah, I can't imagine any other mech going
There it is.
anywhere else. Yep.
Togawa is sitting on 1 popularity. Cannot move this turn. Chooses to produce. Get their first mech.
Nordic now in the lead as well with that produce. Oh, no, with Togawa.
Saxony's got to do something this turn because Togawa's about to send those workers home next turn. I mean, there's already some bad blood there to begin with, but Togawa needs to blaze a trail to the factory. They need to move to get their last enlist. They're just at 1 popularity. I think as Saxony, you're maybe wishing you had sent a unit, one of those, perhaps that character, that village.
I think they trade for a mech and then put probably disarm on that tunnel.
Togawa has no power.
Oh, you're right. Well, they might just do it anyways and hope that Togawa on 6 cards though.
And in position to move 2 units there. So, yeah, I'm with you. You can fortify that spot. But then Togawa gets a combat star. I mean, and Togawa has Ronin, so they can attack with 1 unit and get 2 power. That doesn't help them if disarm is on there, right? Because attacker's mech ability goes first. So you get 2 power with Ronin, you lose it immediately with disarm. Saxony drops it right there. So if you go with 2 units, you throw 2 cards and you get a combat for an easy 5.
Yeah, Saxony. Trading for that medal.
Polania, by the way, with 2 combats in the power star and only 1 mech away from star number 4.
You mean Worker Star?
Yes. Did I say Power Star?
Yeah, you said Power Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saxony not looking to fortify. I think they think those workers are a lost cause. They do have a mech back at home, so they can move them to that village where they got the tunnel on. But they're just... I mean, what do? You've got half of Togawa's score at this point. I don't know what engine you
like
have.
Polania's position in this game right now. I mean, their 3 stars are a little deceptive, I suppose, because now this is interesting. You leave 2 workers on the factory right here. Who are you deterring? No one has pop. Except Polania, who with 1 factory card use can get into tier 2. Yep, there they go.
There's that.
Oh, the humanity. They were civilians.
Sent all the way back with that mech from earlier. Is that the Togawa's last enlist, I think?
Positioning themselves to get some more workers. And you're right, with Saxony still having 1 unit on the home base, probably is why they decided to put that mech up on the mountain. They probably knew those workers were going home, decided not to give Togawa the combat. And I think if they hadn't had a mech at home, I think they would have placed that 3rd mech on that village. So at least if they got sent home, they'd have a mech to pull them back out.
I think so, yeah.
Checking on the score while Saxony's thinking about it. You know, right now Togawa, after the bid, still in a 1 coin lead technically, but really still a long way away from ending it. I mean, I think Nordic right now has the highest point ceiling.
I think so. They've got 3 more.
And Polania is sitting on only 4 coin to Nordic's 21. That's just going to be hard to overcome.
Nordic possibly getting, if they can get all those deploys out, getting another 12 coins on top of this.
And here's where Togawa wishes they didn't get sent home early by Saxony. I mean, you've got to hand it to Togawa. It looked like they were dead in the water. And here they are technically in 1st place right now. But you've moved as Togawa. You have 4 enlists. So you've moved, what, 5 times in this game? And you're not at the factory? It's rough.
It's not something you want to hear when playing Togawa. I mean, little by little, though, they're inching their way back up to the top of the leaderboard. Once Polania gets into tier 2, gets some more spread going, gets some more encounters, we'll see how that stays. But I mean, depending on how Togawa plays this, they need... What stars do you go for as Togawa? Do you get...
Well, they've got two workers on metal, so they can keep working their way toward the mech star. And that's a nice little source of coin. They do have the 2 popularity that they saved for last, so they can produce... They'll go to 6 workers. Let's see, they'll produce once, make a mech. That will put them at 4 workers. They'll produce again, make another mech. That puts them at 6. 1 more produce puts them at 8 workers and 4 mechs. So those are potentially your next 2 stars. But that's 3 turns, plus whatever happens in between.
Oh, man.
Saxony and Togawa are not going to let each other win this game, is what's happening.
It's a race for 2nd and 3rd between them. His workers getting sent home.
See, Polania, no one cares about your workers. I mean, I get leaving 1 worker on the factory. So Togawa's going to win this fight now. Saxony hit the power trap, and Togawa has Ronin. So Togawa's not getting sent home this time.
There it is. Saxony may be wishing they'd gone for that economy style of play.
Now, Saxony's in last right now, and it's hard to see them pulling back up out of it. Despite holding the factory right now, they've got essentially almost no coin, very little board presence, nothing to show but one combat star. If Saxony can pulls this thing from the fire, I will be beyond amazed at this point.
I'm surprised they go this aggressive with 0 bids on pretty much everything. Card for an upgrade and a power.
Yeah, if you were going to end the game quickly as Saxony, you needed... I mean, anything can happen for the most part inside, but you would have liked to have more bids to work with. You were going for a rush game, or an economy game for that matter, but Saxony not having things go their way.
Yeah.
And they did not want to see the power trap. Okay, mech number 4 for Polania.
Is that their 4-star? Yep. Getting close. They need... So what do they get at this point? They can maybe get their objective, and then what's their best course of action after that? Enlists?
I mean, you took the popularity factory card. So your factory card is not... And there is Despised Warmonger out of Nordic. I mean, I think if you're Polania right now, your best course of action is just to kind of start spreading out, go into tier 2. And maybe hope you can pick some things off encounters, but you're about out of encounters, right? You've got Rustviets, and then you've got...
Crimea's basically... You might be able to get that one all the way on the Saxony's wood. Which, if you get lucky...
So there are 3 encounters left, but none of them are within 1 move of each other, is the long and short of it. I don't think Polania has any way they can... I don't think 3 moves for Polania gets you from any of these encounters to any of the others.
Yeah, that 5th star is going to be hard to come across.
This is Togawa and Nordic right now, pulling away.
Yeah, I'm liking Nordic's chances more and more. It's only a $5 bid. They are 2 behind Togawa. I mean, Togawa rising from the ashes, just impressive recovery, but do they have enough economy to surpass Nordic? Maybe with the 5 bid they do, but I'm excited to see what they've got planned.
Well, Nordic's next turn here. They just bolster deployed. So I'd expect them to move. See, an upgrade means out of Saxony, sorry, which means a factory card use. I would expect from Nordic that they would move 1 worker over to this village and then move at least 1 unit to the factory at this point. Did I miss one? Oh, did I say 4 encounters night? I meant 3. Oh yeah, there's 4, Rustviet's farm. But same thing there. If you're Polania, how do you get to this? You can move from the farm to the tundra in 1 move. But most of these are 2 moves away from each other. If you're Polania.
Even to get... You mean, to get to that farm one, you need a factory card plus a regular move.
So there are 4 encounters left. They're just not... They're not in great places for you.
Saxony going for another combat.
I mean, what else can they do?
Looking to drag Togawa down with them.
Togawa still has Ronin, though. I mean, Togawa has 2 combats, but they can probably win this fight too if they don't want to get sent back.
I don't see why not. I mean, because Polania doesn't need combats. Saxony, I doubt, can get any more combats off this game. Nordic, maybe a little too far. No, they're gonna throw this one.
Nordic is gonna wait on that. Well, Nordic can't go for the bolster deploy and get the power star this turn. Saxony's sitting on just 1 power. So if you're Nordic and you have a 5 out of those 8 cards, you can take the factory right now without spending any more than 1 power and leave yourself set up to grab the power star and another mech the turn after.
It's assuming Polania doesn't come after you. But yeah, I think they're next. I think you're right. They're looking to head to that factory next turn. And then just bully Saxony off it with artillery.
You
they don't have artillery.
This encounter if you're Polania, right? You just take the pop and call it. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you already got your mechs out.
Nothing else in there that you wanted.
Polania, maybe if they can pick up another encounter. Yep.
There's
just
the
like you
to
said.
The factory, worker to the village. And if you bring 2 units, you don't even have to spend the 1 power. There it is.
Yep, there it is. Setting up for that last worker to get made.
Nordic just looking unstoppable.
I mean, they can end in 2 turns, right?
Well, they're at 2 mechs.
Oh, I didn't see. I thought I keep thinking they have artillery.
But they've got, even after bids, it's an 11 coin difference right now.
See what this factory card is, but yeah, 3 turns. We'll upgrade and
I mean, I don't think that upgrade
I think
tells us much. They spin it to get the coin and the power. And why not? They had to upgrade something.
Togawa looking to contest factory. Oh, going back to Saxony as well.
Claiming some territory. Know about this fight. I think Togawa wanting the power as much as power in the territory. Benefit of Ronin. Saxony just going to spend 1 to give themselves another combat card. Saxony, I don't know about that. If you're Saxony, you need power more than you need cards, don't you? You want to produce those 3 workers into 3 more. And if this says Nordics have 5 upgrades, it's right.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
So
yeah, he could end.
You could go that route instead of mechs. And the factory card, you're 1 resource short. Oh, you're 1 resource short of using your factory card again to upgrade. But you can end in 3 turns, right?
No, because doesn't he produce this turn, get that last worker, and then he gets resources from whatever he wants, then he moves, grabs a combat, and that's GG.
You're saying 2 turns?
Yeah, 2 turns. Because Yeah, because he's got 3 stars right now. He produces, he gets his worker star, that's 4 stars.
Right.
Then he grabs enough resources for another upgrade. That's the upgrade star. Grabs a combat, that's 3 stars in 2 turns.
Only going to get the... Oh, I see what you're saying. So the produce gives the worker star. Then you're sitting on enough resources to get a combat star and the upgrade star the next turn. Yeah, that's a really good point right there. Good eye. So where does he pick up the combat then? I think this little lone mech, Polania's. The Polania's got 9 powers, so
Ooh,
probably one of Saxony's mechs.
Saxony's trying. You're trying to get a little bit of spread as much as they can.
Slow down Nordic a little bit.
Yeah, but I would agree. Saxony throwing themselves at a brick wall once again.
Trying to wreck Togawa. I mean, all this does is give Togawa power. I don't even know what Saxony's doing at this point. Attacking Togawa.
I mean, they might try to bluff him now. I mean, just going right back. I was thinking they might be able to.
Does Saxony have disarm? Yeah, so I guess they gave power and then took it away.
Yeah, my guess is they were trying to just get a quick star off of that. That only gives them 3 more points, though, which is still 10 behind Polania.
The Nordic produces a worker, an oil, then maybe 2 food, something like that. A worker, a metal, and 2 food.
Yeah, I'd say food is probably their safest bet if they're trying to get that factory card off.
They're guarding it. The metal's a little risky. Polania can take it. Oil and food are your 2 safest options.
Well, they've already got 1 metal on the factory there, so they only need 1 other resource.
Yeah, but you got the upgraded move. You might as well put the resources somewhere. Unless you're just thinking they're going to get stolen. But I doubt anyone's going to hit that worker there on the tundra.
Polania with that move, still behind Togawa.
Yeah, there's the oil. You got to attack the factory right now if you're Togawa. Oh, it doesn't matter though.
It doesn't matter.
Nordic doesn't need the... This is Nordic's game.
Yeah, Nordic has it.
Togawa's at 41 though. I mean, 16 behind. No, this is Nordic's game. Valiant effort out of Togawa, but I mean, no one can stop Nordic now.
Yeah. For what they had to go through at the start, this is pretty impressive. Coming all the way back to second. We'll see what Polania does. If they can manage to get...
And that's Saxony's turn, which means we're about to see Nordic win this game in 16 turns with the Patriotic board while getting the upgrade star. And granted, getting the upgrade star, they did have a factory card, but I think they're only going to use it once.
Yeah,
Saxony's thinking about this last move, but I think out of Nordic, we see maybe they drop a worker on this village to their right and then double back and hit Saxony on that mountain.
Yeah, or Polania. Down on that village.
Yeah, you need a...
I mean, it doesn't really matter what they do at this point. They're just
You need a 5 to attack Polania. And really, you should... Oh,
I forgot. Polania's at 9.
Yeah, you don't...
Yeah,
your attack doesn't make a difference here. You couldn't king make here for second or third if you tried. Just do your thing, maximize your points. So Saxony here, what do? They're thinking about this move pretty hard, but they're 19 points off of Polania. And they're locked into 4th at this point.
Yeah, I think it's
and they used
too late to do anything.
Turn.
I mean, maybe bolster. Try to put up some fight against Nordic.
So,
Campbell's.
Polania,
No, they can.
You can pick up 2 territories is the most you can add with a factory card move, right? I think, or you can gamble. You can go for this this mountain encounter in Crimea's base, put yourself at 11 pop, and just hope that there's an encounter there that's gonna let you get to popularity. The odds are slim because you've already seen. Well, there's tactical mastery out of Saxony.
They got that combat card.
That's why they spent the power to get the combat card earlier.
I see.
So you can go for this encounter and hope against hope that it gets you to tier 3.
I think that's their only option left.
Which would put you at 49. It's not enough to stop Nordic, but it's enough to take second in all likelihood.
Not quite.
They're not going to get it, no.
1 behind tier 3.
Take number 1. And you may just take number 2 for fun. It's a wash.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters what he does.
The first 2 of those resources are worth $2 because you're in tier 2. You had to try.
Yeah.
So Togawa, again, looking like they're going to be the king of second place. Of course, if you if you had added 2 territories, there is Polania. Wouldn't that have put you at 45?
They were at...
We're at 39.
At 39.
I think they could have pulled second place if they had
chosen
to spread. Assuming Nordic attacked Saxony and not them.
They might have attacked... If they had a 5, they might have attacked them just to give that second to Togawa for working so hard.
That is frowned upon. I think Joy's post said, "Do not do that."
True, yeah. But yeah, they're looking just like you said, dropping off that worker and then going to the mountain.
Yeah, I was thinking the other mountain, the one with just the 1 unit, but I don't guess it really matters.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't at this point. They did have 2 5s, so.
Saxony sitting on good cards.
There it is.
Well played, Nordic.
GG.
The win goes to Anya Block with a commanding win, 67 coins, 62 after bids to 43, 39, and 21. Thanks for watching, guys. That was an entertaining game. Dominating performance by Nordic Patriotic. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.